Getting stuck in romantic obsession sucks. One day you meet an amazing, attractive person, you find yourself daydreaming about them, fantasizing about them, thrilled by the idea of being with them. But life often throws obstacles in the way, and for one reason or another, you can't be together. But there's a part of you that refuses to give up hope. You think about them obsessively until you can't get them out of your head. Without a clear understanding of the steps that have led you there, you find yourself mentally enslaved, strung out and sleep deprived, assailed by intrusive thoughts and a craving that won't turn off. That mental state of romantic obsession is known as limerence, and those intrusive thoughts are a sign that you've become addicted to another person. In this video, we'll go through how to stop thinking about someone you can't be with. Hi, my name is Tom Bellamy. I'm a neuroscientist and writer, and I blog all about limerence at livingwithlimerence.com. I'm also the author of the book Smitten, which explains what limerence is, how neuroscience can help us make sense of it, and how to recover from it. So, how to stop thinking about someone you can't have. The root of the problem is that you've become limerent for someone who isn't available to you. Whatever the cause, whether they don't like you back or there are barriers and uncertainty in the way that mean you can't be with them, the delirious rush of early limerence can slowly transform into the relentless obsession of person addiction. All that pent-up energy and thwarted action turns inwards and traps you in apparently inescapable thought loops. But there are ways out. Now, the ultimate solution is to do the patient work of understanding how your personal history has led you to this point, and then to take decisive, purposeful action to undo the mental training that you inadvertently undertook. But there are also some psychological techniques, some mindset tweaks that can help speed up recovery. Here are some of the best. Step 1. Understand what's happened. The starting point for limerence is desire. You meet someone who excites you in just the right way. Their company is intoxicating. Just being with them is exhilarating. Daydreaming about them is so pleasurable that you indulge it whenever you get a chance. And the neuroscience of limerence can help explain what's happening during this euphoria phase. The reason that you can't stop thinking about them is because they're sending your arousal, reward, and motivation systems into overdrive. They've become a primary source of emotional reward in your world, and your brain will push you to seek more. But if that desire can't be satisfied, it doesn't just fade away. It transforms into obsession. Instead of healthy attraction, you become addicted to them, or rather to the idea of them. Unrequited limerence turns toxic when you can't emotionally give up hope. Your mind gets trapped in a state of relentless wanting. And at that point, when you realize that you can no longer stop thinking about them, even if you want to, new emotional challenges bubble up as well. Fear, anxiety, shame. You've lost control of your own thoughts, and that realization is pretty unsettling. But it's also the result of just following natural instincts that happen to reinforce a behavioral addiction. Okay, so time to fight back. But how? Step 2. Don't view it as a fight. The easiest way to win a fight is to not take part. Limerence is better understood as a personal wake-up call than an external force that needs to be battled. It's an internal state brought on by your own psychological needs and subconscious desires. Limerence is going on in your head, and you won't recover from it by fighting yourself. You need to calm your overexcited subconscious. You need to wean yourself off that inappropriate reward. To achieve that, nothing needs to be slain. The resolution can be peaceful. Now, you've probably already discovered that trying to suppress intrusive thoughts doesn't work. You just feel worse and they keep coming back. Much more effective is to accept the thoughts, process them, and then detach from them. So the thoughts will come, but you can learn to sort of watch them pass by as though you're a dispassionate observer. And even just labeling the mental event when it happens, so that was a limerent thought, can be useful for diffusing some of the emotional power. So the goal is to recognize intrusive thoughts as the product of subconscious hopes and fears that can be faced and neutralized. The goal isn't to eliminate them through mental dominance. Now, another reason why framing limerence as a fight is counterproductive is that it keeps the person that you're obsessed with central in your mind. They're still a primary source of motivation for you, but in a negative rather than positive way. So there is a risk that you'll still define yourself by them, even if it's now in opposition. So your goal is to leave both your intrusive thoughts and your limerent object behind, not to destroy them. Step 3. Use it to understand yourself. A psychological shock as profound as limerence is a formative experience, not a minor inconvenience. One way to get some value from the crisis is to use it to understand yourself better. Your limerent object seems extraordinarily special, but they're only special to you because of your own personal emotional makeup. Figuring out why they triggered limerence in you is useful. So what was it about them that started the infatuation? What was missing in your life that they seemed to promise to supply? Emotional support, romantic bliss, adventure, escape? Now, for most people, answering these questions isn't a quick and easy process. It takes time and focused thought to start to unearth the events and experiences that have shaped you. And the goal here is to stop seeing your limerent object as an unobtainable romantic prize and start seeing them instead as a key to unlock knowledge about yourself. So shift your mindset from, I must have them, to, what do they mean to me? Step 4. Start retraining your brain. Many people with a tendency towards limerence develop a habit over the years of using daydreaming and fantasy for mood repair. It's a safe way to get a nice endorphin rush and escapist fantasy that temporarily soothes the stresses and suffering of life. Unfortunately, that habit can rapidly get out of control and escalate to the point where you can't stop. And with social media, the temptation to supplement those fantasies with hours of immersive browsing can be irresistible. It's obvious, but for recovery, you need to stop feeding the obsession. Habits can be broken. Brains can be reprogrammed. Self-discipline can be cultivated. By changing the methods that you use to cope with stress and disrupting the old routines that led you into limerence, it is possible to reverse that mental training. Now, I have another video dedicated to this topic of how to overcome limerence that goes into much more practical detail, so I'll leave a link in the description below. Step 5. Look to the future. Ultimately, the best way to free yourself of the desire for someone you can't have is to find other, better rewards to meet your needs. So there's some obvious advice here, so obvious that it's a bit hackneyed. Cut all contact with them. Find someone else. There's plenty more fish in the sea. Try out a new hobby or join a sport team. This advice isn't wrong, but it's more helpful, I think, to look at the underlying reason why these tactics are effective. Now, first, one cause of the problem is that you're thinking about someone that you can't have, which means you can't take action. And the energy that builds up doesn't just disappear, it turns into frustration and obsession, and it can turn into resentment. So it's much better to spend that energy on something else, something worthwhile. And that's why exercise and new hobbies and new pursuits are useful. They don't just distract you, they allow you to take action on something productive rather than being trapped by inaction. The second bigger truth hidden in the platitudes is that you need to have something to look forward to. It's a lot easier to walk away from a bad situation if you're happy about where you're going. If you find new directions, new people, new places that stimulate you, you can meet needs that you've probably been neglecting. And that principle is why I believe that living with purpose is the best cure for limerence. Those intrusive thoughts are your brain motivating you to try and get emotional satisfaction from limerent rewards. And if you can find healthier rewards, you can satisfy that restlessness and improve your life at the same time. Then you can look back on this time of obsession and think, that was when I finally sorted my life out, rather than staying trapped in the prison of limerence limbo. If you found this video helpful, check out my detailed discussion of purposeful living in this video on the best cure for limerence. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you'd like more, and I'll see you next time.